Hi, we're here today to discuss digital transformation dialogue, pre versus post AI era and workplace. So we'll start off with our first question. Was work before AI actually simpler or just slower? What's your
I would say it wasn't actually simpler. It was more of time taking. There were a lot of aspects to one work related to it. There were a lot of people required to do a lot of different stuff, and now that complications have turned into more of the operational efficiency, and things have become faster now.
okay? I'd say that it was slower, but it was also simpler, and it's become more complex in a way. It has become faster for sure, definitely, but it's also become more complicated in a lot of aspects. Like you have to check, regulate, and make sure everything's fine. Some human errors could be, avoided before, but now there's no margin for errors anymore. So, yeah, I think it has become faster, but it's more complex. Okay, so our next question is: did AI make us smarter, or did it just make us faster, and we're calling that smart?
For that case, I would say we are still in the evolving stages right now. It's been just 3 years since the advent of the AI in our workplaces and everywhere else. Things are going more faster and fast paced, and operational efficiency is going up. But but when it comes to smarter thinking, smarter capabilities, that has yet to be discovered yet. What is your take on that?
I agree to some extent that it has made us smarter. We started thinking, I think, you can always use AI as your brainstorming partner, I think, and you can always, have a good brainstorming session, strategizing, discussing things with AI. But yeah, I think we've become smarter, but we're not just calling it faster because of that. Yeah, it has made us a bit smart. Uh, Next question is, if AI disappeared tomorrow, would your team do better or worse, and why?
I would say people can always go back to their own habits of doing manual work, but that's not the question anymore. We need to evolve along with the AI. As far as this question is concerned, the disappearance of the AI, there's something new that's going to take its place because every technology over the world takes a new shape.
Okay.
Whether it's called an AI today, it might be called as the entity tomorrow, as we've seen in most of the movies as well. But it keeps on evolving the technology. So you have to evolve along with it. And the team, if you're working with certain people within your team, they need to self-pace themselves, self-learn, get hold of the new tools and how everything work around them, and how the big companies, especially in the tech, are working their way around this new technology.
Mm-hmm. That's a good take. I think it's a very optimistic take on AI. Even if AI disappears, is always going to be a replacement. There's going something else. So I think what I think is, I don't think that they're really gonna. The work might get slower, but it's not gonna get better or worse. I think it might get better. It might get worse. Only time can tell. But I think it might get slower for sure. But I don't think the quality would be compromised at the moment because AI hasn't reached that level of quality output, or I'd say, that we could rely on it completely. Or we can say that, oh, without AI, we can't go back to the things we did before. It's not been that long. And we still have a touch with what we used to do before AI. So, yeah, that's my take. Fourth question: are we actually thinking less now that AI does more of the work for us? What do you think?
There is one important take on this, which is about for me as an example. I've started thinking more because I've started digging in more details when the AI came out. I started asking different sort of questions from AI, and based on those outcomes and based on those answers from the AI, based on that research, that has also enlightened me about other things in my work ethics. So that is making me think more about doing things. It's not about like thinking lesser when just use of AI. Yeah, you're doing less work through your hands. AI is taking a lot of those things, but when it comes to thinking, you're thinking strategically. You have more time to think strategically rather than getting your hands dirty on the execution part.
Like getting your hands dirty is a very solid thing to say. Okay, I think no, I think we are thinking more after AI because we got our executions done faster. Okay, we can execute stuff faster, we can get it done faster. The production has become quicker, but it has also given us the margin to think deeper, more granularly, and come up with better things. And maybe if you use AI as your brainstorming partner, as your thinking partner, you can even dig deep into stuff that you might have not thought about before because you had your hands full because of other things and tasks. So no, I don't think we're thinking less. I think we're thinking more, and and then we're just using it as a partner for thinking deeply. At least that's what my perspective is. Okay. Okay. So one more question. Can you recall a day when you didn't sign into any AI tool and how it felt like?
It felt like I was being dragged away, and things got piled up in a jiffy, and I was left in a no place to just to recall it as a productive day. So yeah, that is what it made me feel like.
I can very actually clearly recall that day, and it took us a lot of time to research on one single thing and then come up with the complete research, get that approved, then come up and draw the plan, get that approved, then start the execution, the writing, the publishing. Everything took a lot of time. So I can definitely recall it, and I think AI has made a lot of things smoother, better, but at the same time, little complex, like I said before. So yeah, that's it from my side. Okay. Are companies that haven't fully switched to AI being careful or just falling behind?
Yeah, just like I said, 3 years it's been that time that AI just came in. There are companies that are actually being more careful, they're thinking about AI more closely. There are like two things over there in the market. One is being the first mover advantage and the second mover advantage. I think the companies are not actually falling behind; they're actually acting as a second mover advantage, learning from other companies what mistakes they are making and what progress they are making, and based on those outcomes and results, they are going to create their own strategies afterwards. So it's not actually being falling behind, it's being more careful and being cautious with the new technology.
Yeah, I agree. I would say that fully switching, I don't think, except for maybe some giants or some very startup companies, a lot of people have actually switched to AI, like completely switched to AI. You're still like I think people are still just trying to get some work or some functions or divisions turned automated or with AI, but not completely. um, I think if someone is resisting AI, I think they're falling behind for sure because that's you cannot do that anymore. You can't be the Nokia of 2026 and not adopt to a
Yes.
running technology. But otherwise, I think yeah, taking it slowly, step by step, experimenting with it is definitely essential for companies right now. So yeah, that's my take on it. Okay. Uh, Before AI, mistakes were usually human error. Now, mistakes often come from trusting AI too much. How do you deal with that?
I would say there will always be room for improvement, whether it's AI, whether it's human work doing your work. But due to AI, there are lesser mistakes as compared to the
You're
humans.
very strict.
Yeah, and those things can also be improved based on your improvement of prompts, your improvement of how you interact with the AI, and the skill sets and the skills that you've created within those AI tools, because that's the context that you need to be clear with. As far as you've got the context right, you'll get the better outcomes always, and that context comes with, yeah, that there needs to be a strategic thinker behind that using that AI tool. Otherwise, you will be getting more and more problems with AI. Yeah, that's my understanding regarding
Mm-hmm.
this. And what do you think it's about?
Okay, I think that you always need to review or recheck a human in the loop no matter what. Okay, you can't rely on AI completely blindly. You can't just give some prompts and expect it to give you the exact answer in the same simple one go, right? So I think that human in the loop element is very, very, very important. You can't rely on it completely. Like I said before, I think as well that human errors have a lesser margin now. We're expected to do better with AI, and simple typos and mistakes aren't just a small typo or mistake anymore. They become a blunder only because we have the AI tools. But yeah, trusting it too much for giving us the information and not rechecking it, double checking it, making sure it's giving us the right information, the right channels, the right sources. It's always necessary. So yes, we always have a human in the loop. We always have someone who's rechecking, reviewing stuff, making sure AI is giving us the correct information. It's not diverting anywhere else, and reviewing everything that we get from AI as well. We don't just blindly post it or
So
publish
both
it.
context and human in the loop are important these days
Yes,
using the AI
exactly,
tools.
exactly, definitely. Okay. Okay. 10 years from now, will people miss the pre-AI way of working or be glad it's over?
I would say if it's related to being workplaces, they will not be missing out the older days because they
Hmm.
also used to waste a lot of time thinking manually, researching things and writing stuff and drafting and creating campaigns manually and going to channels and talking to people. Uh, Using AI that has been sorted, now they have more room of thinking capabilities. Now they have more room of meeting people, having that human interaction that they require throughout their day and throughout their calendars. But if you're talking about not just the workplaces, but normal days, if you want to be more creative, if you're a creative writer, I would always love to go back into my older days and write creatively, not using AI.
Hmm. Okay, I think it's a bit too early for this question. Pre-AI way of working, because I think it's not too long. It's only been like 3, 4 years since we started using AI in our regular day-to-day work. So I think it's too early for that question right now. 10 years, maybe people will rely on AI too much, I think, and by that time, you can expect refined agents and um, generative AI LLMs and all that. That would actually give you the exact outputs and maybe even lesser human workforce. You don't know, man. It's a vast horizon. You can
Yeah,
imagine anything.
this makes me think about
So
the
I don't think some people might actually be glad it's over. If it's over, because they'll be like, "Oh, we get our jobs back, and we have more job market. We got to do stuff that AI used to do." And some people might just say, "Okay, oh damn, I miss the AI era. It used to work for me. It used to do so much stuff for me. Now I got to do everything manually from scratch." So it's just a little early for this question, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I can't really.
based on your take on this, it made me think about 10 years from now, there will be more advancement in the technology. There will be digital twins of people actually working.
Yeah, that's what I
You're
said.
doing your
That
work.
there
Yeah.
might be actually less workforce. You
Mm.
never know. Um, and your job might require you to know like AI, specializing in AI. So yeah, I think that's it. That's it. That these are all the questions that we have today. Thank you, Ijaz. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Mahi, for
Bye
joining in.
bye.